What's up, everybody? It's Scarlett Cyanide, and welcome back to another episode of Scarlett Cyanide's Sit and Sip. The girls all came together today, and you know, I'm bringing y'all the guest hosts this season, so I cannot wait to introduce you to this brand new fabulous guest host today.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Bobby, or you can call me Sunshine. Thank you so much for having me on here, Scarlett.
I am so excited to have you, Ben. We go way, way, way back.
Like, we're 7 or 8 years?
Yes.
Drag?
Drag.
So we met in drag some amount of years ago. I was Rachel Sunshine, who was a ray of sunshine, and she had a cute little brother named Tanner Sunshine, which was also me. If you want to see me, I still will get in the drags for some reading to children or for some charity shows. Not saying I'm like above bars, but I'm busy.
You're a philanthropist now.
So what she's referring to is I have a little YouTube show called Benjamin Bobby. Don't know where I got the title. Best Friends Race. It
sounds familiar.
Right? It started literally 10 years ago with my husband as a drag race themed birthday party all about me. We literally had a bunch of friends who'd never seen Drag Race, didn't do drag, just a bunch of straight girls and random people, and which love. And they showed up and they had to bring outfits and they do whatever, and we just did Drag Race. If you want to go catch it, you can go to YouTube. It's Benjamin Bobby's Best Friends Race Secret Agent. And then stay tuned for like a year or so from now to catch Scarlett. So you get to do a version of a reality TV show.
I'm going to be a competitor. She's going to throw her hat in the ring and a ring and a hat and something else. And we're going to see what happens.
I just want to take credit for last week's guest star, Tyson.
Take credit.
Because you met Tyson filming Biffer Secret Agents Too Much.
All right. Well, let's grab our seats and take a sip. And let's get into this episode. Of course, we're going to kiki about all of the girls coming together in, honestly, a very chaotic first episode, at least socially.
This cast was announced. I was not excited. In general, it's 18 people. That's great, but there wasn't anyone that I was like, this is my girl, this is my person. So, real quick, first bracket I thought was really like competitive and fair. It felt like a season.
Oh my god, it did. I personally, I think that's what I've really loved about the whole Tournament of All-Stars format, is it's felt like we've gotten mini seasons.
Yeah. And
now that they're all back together, I'm like, whoop, it's like season number 4.
Right, with a new format, because points don't matter apparently, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
So then bracket 2 was just drama and strategy. So we had fair competition with skill. We had drama and strategy. And then bracket 3 was Kumbaya, which is a form of strategy, like the social game.
Yes, that's such a good point. We have seen very like different play styles, you know what I mean? And I think it's made the All-Stars tournament overall really dynamic.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of made the fans a little divided.
I didn't love all of the brackets equally, but I like that the show did that. It really felt, from a production standpoint, that producers were like, let's try these 3 things and maybe see what the fans are vibing with.
Do you have any opinions about Hairgate?
The luscious long locks of Denali.
Yes.
I think she's the person being brought back by the judges, and she came back and filmed more confessionals with that same confessional look with longer hair.
Bam. Producer, editor, approved then.
But
that's literally what I thought. Let's get into these girls coming back into the workroom for the very first time. Well, and I do love on All-Stars that get to enter on actually the main stage because we get a full runway.
For a millisecond.
Yeah, I know. Personally, I was like, ooh, too quick. I would like to see a bit more. But I still want to talk about all the looks.
Yes, for sure.
All right, first up was the orange bracket, and we had Irene the Alien giving you butterfly, fairy, a total iridescent fantasy. What were your thoughts about this?
You know I loved this.
Yeah.
It was bright. It was fun. It was professional. This was one of my favorites.
It was gorgeous. It was also one of my favorites. Almost like a video game character in a way. Like, giving you beautiful but badass.
This is why I wanted not the points to necessarily carry through and mean anything, but Ginger made a comment about wanting the points to be up there. I wanted them up there too. I wanted everyone to just know how everyone did and the audience to be reminded, like, yes, Irene won every single thing except 2 lip syncs. She won the mini challenges. She won it all. You can easily curate the challenges to be Ginger-centric because we know what Ginger does. We don't know what Irene does. So Irene got those without production picking things that she's going to do well at.
Right. Okay, I'm so glad you brought up the points.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're gone now. I'm a little sad that the points aren't going to continue to be a thing. I've gotten used to the points. I'm a little emotionally invested, I think, into the points. Yeah. But I do like the gaggery of moving to just full elimination. Not even All-Stars rules, but straight up just like regular season rules. I know when we were chatting and you were like, oh, I think there's only 3 episodes left. Like maybe. And I was like, how? With so many girls? I was a little shook to hear that. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but...
Scam likely, sorry.
Next up on the runway, back to this orange bracket, y'all. It is Bosco giving you a little polka dot wiggle.
This was cute.
Really cute.
I'm not living for Bosco like some of these people are, but I don't have anything wrong. They're just not aesthetically what I normally go to.
Sure.
But I think the entrance was great, and I think Bosco's going to do well.
Next up is Aja, and I honestly, I'm not really sure what Aja's look was fully giving. It was a lot of things going on. There was gold fringe, a corset, wings, a headpiece, and then some bones. And that's what it was.
I've watched it twice. I don't remember this look.
Oh, gotcha.
That's my opinion.
First up out of bracket 2 was Jorgeous, and she was gorgeous. Honestly,
Jorgeous was gorgeous? I've never heard that before.
Jorgeous never misses on the look. She's so elevated. This was absolutely one of my favorite entrance looks. And she high-key got some of the most screen time out of everybody, and I'm glad.
This was my favorite. She's figured out, like, oh, I am good at things, and does them. She listens to Ru. Too much sometimes, but she listens to Ru.
Next up is our beautiful butthole. Lydia Butthole Brooks is back, and she's here in blue.
She is. This is the longest she's had to prepare between coming back. Because she had, 5 days last time, and this one she had, 7 or 8 months or something.
Right.
So, happy to see her. She looks pretty.
Yeah, she looks really pretty. Next up, of course, then, is Mistress herself. And I actually love this sexy little, almost like orange draped latex corset fantasy that she was giving. She does look really beautiful.
Oh, she looks amazing.
Yeah,
I'm happy for her journey. All bodies are beautiful, but get the body you want. I'm happy for her. Good. I don't like Mistress.
I was like... That's so funny.
Let me say, and please don't cut this part out. People are people, and people have their own lives. Mistress might be a lovely person, but what I am seeing, what I am being given, is a character she has chosen to dive fully into, and the character Mistress has chosen is a bully, and I don't like that. I don't have a problem with her as a person. Yeah. It's just not the kind of character that I'm going to root for. I'm going to actively root against her. Right. And I think she's made us do that. She's very actively saying, it's me, I'm the villain.
Yeah, personally, I am surprised a little bit that she's going so hard for Ginger right out the gate.
Well, Ginger even said you need to play Snatch Game. You need to play less of these mind games.
Literally.
When they all enter together into the workroom and people are like, hey, let's all chat. And Mistress like, no, my people are coming over here. Iconic.
Yeah.
But not smart.
Not smart, no.
My favorite Lydia moment of the entire episode was when Mistress is like, oh, do you think we're being like... if we do this thing, we'll be too suspicious or whatever. And Lydia's like, we've been over here for 5 minutes. They
already don't trust us.
It was
finally up. It's the purple bracket, and we have Ginger Minj herself coming on in. Also, new body beautiful up in here.
Unrecognizable.
Truly.
It's taking a second.
And out of drag. I'm like, who is this woman?
Gorge.
What did you think about this look on the runway?
So Ginger's look was fine. I think I was more in shock and everything of like the confessional look and how different they look in and out of drag to really pay too much attention to the look. It wasn't anything special. No,
the entrance look for her was not my favorite. I mean, that's probably no surprise. I literally in the last episode said, I just don't like her styling. I think we're still back here to that point. But yeah, Ginger does look amazing. Yeah. And, you know, I think, of course, it's honestly her season to lose at this point. So sometimes she is like that saving grace.
Like this episode.
Like this episode, right. So, all right. Betty stays ready. And she made us, or she tried to make us repeat it. Daya Betty up on the runway. Giving you leopard print furry. I don't honestly know what this was. It was almost like a cat skiing. What did you feel about it?
I liked it.
You liked it?
It felt to me a little like RPG character where you're like building a costume.
God, it did.
And you got these kind of pieces and like, ooh, I'm going to go in the snow. But like after 2 or 3 days of playing, you're going to be like, oh, I'm changing this outfit. Like, I liked it.
Like that you just called her like a Fortnite character.
Yeah. Yeah. One, she's got energy and she's chaotic and I loved her first season. I'm excited for her here.
And last but not least, we have Cuckoo herself, Cynthia Fontaine, giving you like purple cyborg.
Said, I'm going to make your outfit, Cynthia. This little guy. Acid said, I'm going to make your outfit, Cynthia. It looked like it could have been because it was so different for her.
Yeah, I was wondering that
but
too.
It didn't. I'm not shocked, sadly.
Honestly, for all of these competitors, the fact that they did have so much time to prepare, that they would come back with like some stuff we have never seen before. Like, I don't know what I was expecting. Now, I will say though, I don't know if maybe I was just in my Delulu fantasy about a good Snatch Game, because if you actually think about it, most girls on this season did not do well in the Snatch Game on their original seasons. There were a lot of people that needed redemptions.
Glad that it was the Snatch Game. I was calling that since bracket 1. I was like, they're going to save that challenge for the first time they all get together.
And the girls get into the workroom for the first time. Right away, we don't get any of those good moments because Mistress pulls her Flatsum and Jetsum over.
They
swim away, and the rest of the girls are just kind of like, okay, I guess this is just how it's gonna be. Now, let's talk about when Ru comes into the workroom.
And it was nice that they brought them over randomly. I was a little worried they were going to bring them over to talk to Ru in brackets.
Right. We didn't actually see Ru kind of do something that he typically does. We didn't see Ru try to do any mind games with character choices with anybody. There were no suggestions. There were no, well, what else did you bring? And some girls we didn't even see Ru talk to at all.
Well, maybe that's why we didn't get the suggestions, because we didn't see Cuckoo. These queens are praying that Ginger gets taken down.
Seem kind of just resided to the fact that Mistress is going to run amok.
Mm-hmm. That I liked. I liked that a lot of the queens that were from the previous brackets were not dealing with her shit as much and were very like, oh, that's just her, that's just Mistress. Whereas I feel like she steamrolled the ones she was with and they weren't as prepared.
Yeah.
But these girls really were like, ugh, this girl, you know?
Now let's get into the Snatch Game.
Raja and Raven
were there.
With their little YouTube channel. Raja's Mad Hatter look was so cute. And Raven is always beautiful. Right. And she's already on set, so might as well use her.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, they usually, dust her off and roll her out at least, like, once every other season or so in some capacity.
Put the brush down and get out there. Yeah.
When they're there, it's just, family's there. It just feels very easy and breezy, and it almost kind of makes it a little bit, like, more casual feeling Snatch Game.
Yeah.
And maybe that was a good thing. The girls that had a lot to prove... Well, in my mind, they still do have quite a bit more to prove.
They prove they're pretty and they have other skills. Like, everyone has skills. We love that.
And Snatch Game is not most of these gals'
Now,
forte.
some of the ones that didn't do too hot, I do think looked the part, looked to like who they were playing. So I have nice things to say about this Snatch Game, but I get the vibe from you, and I think we're on the same page that this is not going to be remembered as the greatest Snatch Game of all time.
Right. Yeah, for me, overall, the Snatch Game was pleasant. I had some light chuckles and some pleasant moments. But and it also gave us a mixture of cringy stuff too. So like we had that balance, but this Snatch Game isn't going to stand out to me, and I'm probably not going to remember this Snatch Game like 2 seasons from now. I'm going to
maybe remember the winner.
Yeah.
But it's not even her best Snatch Game.
Let's get into these contestants. Yeah. First up, we have Bosco, and she's giving you a Las Vegas host, Kenny Kerr.
I don't know who that is.
It's okay. We're failing LGBT history class today because I actually did not know who Kenny was.
Okay.
Either.
Do your research.
Fans.
We should know. It's our bad.
But I actually really love this choice for Bosco for many, many reasons. I think Bosco was very smart actually picking just an LGBT icon in general. It's always nice when the girls can feed the children. We're children now. Ooh, are you feeling youthful? Because we didn't know.
I'm feeling youthful.
Are you feeling fed?
I'm also want to remind people at this moment that they should wait a year and watch Benjamin Bobby's Best Friend Ray's Secret Agent Too Much for your moment.
I'm going to let you say it. That's all we're going to say.
My favorite part of Bosco was when she was Cher, because she picked a character that does impersonations. Smart.
Very
allows
smart.
You to do things you're never going to not have a different choice to make.
Yes.
I'm doing a Cher impersonation, and it was so funny.
Yeah.
And she said it like twice, and I was like... It's like, Bosco, this is not great, but I was laughing.
Overall, I enjoyed this character. I think a lot of the contestants didn't go far enough with their characters, but she at least had a point of view.
Yeah.
Next up is Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, teeny tiny little Jorgeous.
In a bald cap.
Giving you, honestly, the silliest, twinkiest little Pitbull impression.
It was smart to do something that was successful in All Stars 9. I just like Jorgeous.
I like Jorgeous too. She's so endearing and relatable.
Yeah. For me, this probably would have been, so watching, I was like, okay, this is going to be safe for sure. But then she was like top 2.
She's top 2.
Because nobody else did well.
I do think, though, she did some great things, which was, for me, unexpected from Jorgeous, which was she volleyed. Mm-hmm. She took opportunities overall in moments just to interact with both Ru and the other contestants.
And Ursula. She worked with Ursula a couple times.
She did.
Smart.
Well,
work with your friend.
I was kind of thinking, did they talk about that beforehand? I thought it was interesting that Jorgeous did keep kind of throwing Mistress stuff. It was kind of giving me are they still in some sort of helping out each other alliance? After Mr. 305, we have Daya Betty giving you Jane Lynch.
This look and choice.
The transformation, the illusion was so spectacular. I'm like, for the splittest second, I was like, whoo, Jane Lynch.
Amazing.
Yeah, really good.
The little creases did everything. It was great. And her questions were smart. I liked the, what do you look for in a man, a vagina? It was just, she did well.
She started out, I think, really strong. She kind of then faded to the background, which hence the save thing. I was surprised that she didn't take more opportunities with a character like Jane Lynch and the personality of Daya Betty. For me, that's home run sports. That's it's something, but that's a strong combination. Now, speaking of no point of view at all for literally a very narrow point of view character, potentially, was Cynthia Lee Fontaine giving you Dracula.
This could have been so good.
It could have been.
Dracula, you could do anything.
Literally.
And I loved the Botox line. Because it's funny, because answer in a way that isn't the expected. But then it went downhill from there. That bat fell off a cliff and splat.
Speaking of listening, this girl, I feel like, was not listening to anything that Ru was saying. She was giving answers that, like, didn't make sense. Yeah. That she was so confident with this character choice, but then had nothing, not even Dracula answers to give to the questions.
I'm glad she had fun.
Yeah.
I wish that the twist of going through just based on the MVQ points had led to someone doing well.
Somebody that I actually did really enjoy and did laugh at, which was Irene the Alien giving you Zsa Zsa Gabor. Is that how you say that? Zsa Zsa?
First of all, it's her first one.
Yeah.
Look was good. My favorite part was when she, like, tosses the fur shawl thing.
Yes!
But when I first watched it, I thought she said for the floor, which I actually like more than what I saw the second time when I had this captions on, because she's old, and I got those captions on and it said for the poor, because she was referring to Raven as, like, cleaning the house or being the help or something. And I liked for the floor more of, like, you can use this fur thing to clean the floor, which I thought was really funny.
That is funnier.
And then I watched it the second time. I was like, for the poor, I was like, oh, you're just taking the low fruit of, like, it's a help. Here, have some nice clothing.
Right.
House, use this, was what I heard.
Oh.
So that's that's my canon.
Up next is Aja giving you Cookie Tookie. Ooh, right. I was like, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. I'm like, I don't need a breastplate, but...
Same. Scarlett, the way those boobs were moving, they were almost on, like, a circular... I am not very familiar
giving you, like, a motor
with...
situation.
Right. I'm not very familiar with people with boobs, anatomy-wise. Like, biologically, I don't really know how they're supposed to move, but it was doing this, like, it was kind of mesmerizing.
It was giving you, like, it was like a waterbed under there.
It was a perfectly fine choice for her. I get why she went that route. It didn't bother me, but it wasn't, I'm not going to remember it in 2 weeks.
If she would have come in and leaned more into Cookie Tookie's mannerisms, or, like, kind of could have found, like, things that she does to really lean into to make us understand that character more. I think that would have been really helpful. I think if Aja would have dragged up this character more, it could have gone really well.
Didn't Ru even say that to her? Was like, I don't know who it is, but it can still be funny.
Still be funny.
Did you know Cookie before?
No.
Yeah, no, same. But
and I still don't know Cookie.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did she spin you right round? Lydia giving you heat burns.
He didn't do it for me.
No. I thought the look was good.
No, she looked great.
Yeah, I thought the physical transformation I thought was pretty spot on.
I didn't have that to compare to the actual person, but she looked great. She made people laugh. Like, it was fine.
Yeah.
Kind of how I feel about most of the Snatch Game. It was fine.
I actually think that Lydia could have been one of the safe girls.
Yeah.
Instead, she was in the bottom.
Well, Carson was really bunched up about the bunching up of the bottom of her dress.
We'll talk about the runway, but yeah.
But I think that did it.
I think you're right. So choose your fabrics better. There we go.
That's
a nice, easy release, wrinkle resistant.
We love an easy release.
Oh, that's what they called you in high school.
College. Oh. Please. I'm a lady.
All right, well, here's your one chance, Fancy. Don't let us down. She's Reba. She's Ginger. She's Ginger giving you Reba at the drive-thru.
Right off the bat, the drive-thru joke. I was like, so she won again.
Right.
Immediately. Something that would be interesting to think about or look at would be where Ginger has sat in each of her Snatch Games. Because where you sit, I think, makes a big difference. Like, being really close to Ru, those people tend to do well because Ru gets more of an opportunity to volley with them. Mm-hmm. And then Ginger going later, I think, helped. She was going to win no matter what.
Right.
Not for rigor mortis, just because she is that good. But sitting there, we were already kind of getting like, okay, like, what's next? What else do we have to offer?
Right,
and then we got her, and I was feeling refreshed.
Yeah. Ginger, of course, did a great job. Mm-hmm. Personally, though, I don't think she had to work that hard. Like, I think, honestly, for me, this was Ginger on freaking autopilot.
Yeah.
It was like she didn't even have to register what anybody else was doing because people were just, like, bombing so hard around her that I felt like she could have, like, literally just kicked her shoes off and put her feet up.
Timing is always flawless. Perfect. She was smart. She made the Reba. I barely know Reba, but she made the Reba references that I got.
Right.
Watching this with my husband, it ended. It went to commercial, and he was like, "So did Ginger win?" I was like, "Yeah, Ginger definitely just won that." And he was like, "But it didn't really feel like a winning Snatch Game moment." Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, but who else did?" He's like, "No, you're right. She won."
And everything that Ginger didn't have to do was because Mistress next to her.
I was so happy.
Too much.
I was so happy. I want a villain, and I want that villain to fall.
You wanted the karma of it all.
I wanted the karma. That chin was hideous.
It was.
The fuck? Sorry.
Exactly. I don't know. I think maybe Mistress was actually feeling rattled for the first time, and it showed.
And something I found really interesting, like, yes, Mistress was sitting next to Ginger, and Ginger was the only person right there, but we were shown Mistress trying to work with Ginger multiple times, and I'm like, okay, so you know she's good. You're showing us that she's good, and you want her to make you better.
Now, let's get into this runway. The runway theme I really enjoyed. It was tiramisu. Yes. I'm like, let me remember the suit runway, and it needs to reveal to another look. Yes, it needs to be a tearaway.
Yeah, this was, I agree, love the concept, love the pun. This is not my favorite runway. Like, the execution, a lot of them weren't great.
I mean, we saw one girl, the winner, she just was holding it behind her back, which I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what is happening? But
it was, at that point, it was just a cardboard sign.
Before we get into the runway, though, we have to give it up for the guest judge, Buffy herself, Sarah Michelle Gellar. And like you said, your reason for being here today.
Slay Queen Diva! I'm so excited for the reboot of Buffy coming. I love Sarah Michelle Gellar. Buffy is, like, probably one of my, like, 3 special interests. Like, I love Buffy. I love Buffy. Aww. It's always good to see her on here.
First up on the runway is Bosco in her plaid Vivienne Westwood inspired fantasy.
Everything's Vivienne Westwood. What do you think?
It was great. It was really high fashion. The reveal was enough. It was subtle.
Yeah. I think I liked the first one a little more than the reveal itself.
Sure.
But they both looked good, which that's the bar for this runway, like, and not a lot of people got to that bar.
Next up is the little gorgeous devil herself, Jorgeous. She was giving us a red suit, almost like a zoot suit, double thing. Very sexy, actually.
Beautiful.
And then she revealed to a little slutty, sexy gown.
Great.
Upside down crosses.
They were both great. My only critique at all is I didn't like the one spike thing on the suit. It was kind of like bumping her in the head a little bit. But I think the suit itself and the reveal and just the whole theme was stunning.
Yeah.
Especially because she's kind of playing into being a villain, too.
She is, yeah. Next up, Daya Betty. She stays ready, but she also is sweaty. Wait, did you like that?
I loved it.
Because she's giving us tracksuit, and then she revealed to a sweat illusion, essentially. How did you feel about this?
This was not it for me. No. I love her style, love her fashion. There's been times this season, like that bug look made out of paper, I thought was amazing.
Stunning.
I even loved her, like, last episode, her lip sync look was giving very, like, Bond girl, video game villain. I love her. This was just not it for me.
I also didn't enjoy it. I know it was supposed to be kind of, like, giving you gross, and it succeeded. It succeeded for that for me. I was like, okay. So I saw, like, maybe the fashion part of it, but I just didn't enjoy it overall. No. Taking the tiramisu prompt literally was Cynthia giving you, like, literally, she was, I guess, trying to do the tiramisu colors of the browns.
Liked that idea. Liked the colors. I just feel bad because it could have been cute if she just take the damn thing off. And then they like zoomed in on her ass when it wasn't falling down.
I know. The whole thing was such a mess. Back from her home planet is Irene the alien, giving us a really cool, like, Space Invader kind of transformation fantasy.
This was my favorite. She went from, here's old Irene Dubois, and took her face off, which I don't know if it was just how I was watching it the first time. I did not see that coming.
Oh, okay.
Like, I was watching, but I didn't clock that it was a mask thing. She took it off, and and the eye makeup, and then the whole reveal. This was my favorite. Both looked great.
Yeah.
And there was a story. Because what are we doing? If we're not telling a story, we're just dressing up. Tell a story.
I know, I loved it. I think it was the perfect time for her to tell her story, her, like, background and origin story, because from her last season to now, she was Irene Dubois, like you said, and now she's just going by Irene the Alien. It's also my favorite.
And jumping ahead a little bit, this is the first time she ever got to hear that she's safe.
Oh my God, you're right.
Because she went home, then 111.
So she got to go relax. Good for her. Next up, she's a cocoon and now a beautiful butterfly. Aja. How'd you feel about this look?
I liked it. I did like it. I liked the idea. I liked the concept. I love the top. This with the butterfly was really, really pretty. Something about the like cut of the bottom. Like I like that it kind of flappy out, but then the rest of it just kind of felt like a dress, like a flowy, like falling dress. So it wasn't my favorite, but it was beautiful and the messaging was lovely.
Coming down the runway in blue again is Lydia Butthole Brooks. She had a really nice black sequin suit on, which I really enjoyed. And then she revealed to a blue satin gown.
Yeah, the suit was beautiful. The bottom of the gown being a little long and being wrinkled did not bother me.
Yeah.
I just felt the reveal was a little, like, going from pants to a dress, great. That did wrinkle it up a bit, but that's okay. But, like, to me, it was just, like, nothing changed with the top at all. Mm-hmm. So it felt like she only did a half reveal.
Half reveal, yeah.
But it looked cool. I love a beautiful, that color was everything.
I know, beautiful. We have then our winner, Ginger Minj. Yeah, giving you, like, if Janelle Monáe was, I don't even know. Like, actually, I'm going to quote Ginger, giving you, let's just say it, the Temu version of Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, in a different season, this might have kept her from winning.
Yes. But there were no other options.
That's not the season we're watching. We're watching this one. So.
I loved the, like, after the bridal look was actually cute. And I'm normally not even, like, a bridal look for drag type of girl.
I love a bridal moment.
But, yeah, this, I was just like, throw it all in the garbage for me. I was done. Wait.
And you'll have to watch Benjamin Bobby's Best Friend Race Secret Agent too much to see if she's a villain there.
Oh, that's a good poll. Comment below if you think I'm going to be a villain on Secret Agents 2. And last but certainly not least is Mistress Isabell Brooks. Giving you a fat suit bikini to a black sequin mesh illusion dress.
Liked the message. Good for her. Very empowering. Mm-hmm. I like that she didn't take it off and throw it away, and the suit, the bodysuit, became the poof of the skirt, like filling it out underneath. I thought that worked really well, but aesthetically, neither look was really like making me like, yes. I thought the second one was pretty.
Came out, I was like, what is she? It like took me a second.
She could have stoned it.
You're right, and then I was also like, why? Like, why the fat suit to the bikini? But then I was like, oh, it's about her.
It's her journey. It's her message.
Yeah, I guess it was her. It's her thing. I don't know. I
don't need it again.
We
get your skinny now. I don't want to see any more of that this season.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice. It was the tops and the bottoms of the week. We only had 2 tops.
I
We had Ginger and Jorgeous.
Ooh, Jorgeous would love to be a little top, I'm sure.
I know. And then we had 4 girls on the bottom, but
crazy.
It was crazy. It was crazy. But ultimately, the bottom 2 were Cynthia and MIB.
I agree.
I completely agreed with that, too.
Especially from what I said about having the one that got through based on people giving her points, and the one that got through based on stealing people's points.
Right. So Cynthia and Mistress lip sync, and they lip sync to an a cappella version of Who's Zoomin' Who by Aretha Franklin.
It was cute.
It was cute. It was a pretty iconic version of the song. I just, as a queen and a performer, I just love a strong vocal performance.
You want the words to be coming out of their mouth.
I want the words to be coming out of their mouth, and I really do think Mistress did such a fabulous job at doing that.
100%, she won. So I like the little thing she was doing.
Right.
Her eyes, her mouth. She was embodying it
Yes.
without doing too much.
Yeah. Now Cynthia goes home, but RuPaul does remind them that these contestants are still going to be eligible for the lottery.
Did you think that was going to happen?
No, but it makes sense because I know, my personal thoughts about this, potential lottery winner.
Yeah.
Is I think I would be gagged if the lottery winner really did just, surprise win the season.
Yeah.
And I think just in case that would potentially happen, you would also want to keep it open to the girls that have competed in these most recent episodes. But I wasn't expecting it. What about you?
I wasn't expecting it, and I will be furious because I want twists to work. I care about the twists. I care about setting up the possibilities of things. If the person that wins their way back in with this lottery, which is not going to be random, but whatever, it will infuriate me if it's the person that leaves last and they bring them right back in. Because go back a couple All-Stars where Silky won every single lip sync to win her way back in, and then Eureka, the last one, it's Silky's 6th, 5th, 7th, whatever lip sync, and Eureka's first, and Eureka just left the competition. Yes, Eureka actually been there all season and deserved a spot. I'm fine with, I get it, but we have this twist of this lip sync battle. Why are we watching Silky do well and then not win and then the last person? So if it ends up being whoever leaves in the last episode before it versus Denali or Acid Betty.
Right.
Or it won't be, but Olivia Lux. Somebody... Tina Burner, somebody that I would be really excited for because of what they gave or what they have the potential of giving. Mm-hmm. I don't want that person to win because they bypassed half the season, but I want them to actually get to come back.
Yeah. Now, next week, they're going to be doing a talent show, which personally I think is really fun because just as with Snatch Game, Ginger is that girl, I think a talent show really helps feature a lot of the other girls.
Agree. I don't want Ginger to win it. I want it to be spread out. I want someone else to get it. And this was the other challenge. I was well, it's either going to be Snatch Game or the talent show for the first 2. So I called it. I'm excited. Who knows what boo-boo-foo... Who knows what Cuckoo would have done.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited. And I want Irene to drink water again.
Can't let these beautiful people go before we talk about our sips and our spits of the week. So Ben, do you have a sip of the week this week?
Oh, this is hard. I do. It's not hard. I know what I'm going to say. My sip of this week is Irene because she had my favorite, she had one of my 2 favorite entrance looks and she had my favorite runway look. And she's one of the only people that we saw in the workroom really standing up to Mistress and throwing it back at Mistress. And I've been waiting to get some of these other girls in the room to shut that bitch up.
Yes.
So did she the best in the challenge? And then she held her own and made me laugh with the joke that I think my version of it was funnier when she threw the fur on the floor. But yeah, so my sip would be Irene.
I love that. And I actually have to sip with you.
Oh, really?
Irene is also my sip of the week. Honestly, for all the things that you said, I seriously think that Irene is that girl that can give Ginger a run for her money. She can definitely hold her own against Mistress. Now, that was all lovely. But Ben...
You already know. Go ahead, ask. Go ahead.
Who's your spit?
It's Mistress!
Ah, okay.
Spit! Why I spit is I don't like bullies. I like villains, and it's a fine line. And again, we don't know what all she was doing and what they chose to show us. But what they chose to show us was like social ostracizing, social pulling people aside, whispering in the corner. That's bullying. Like, it is funny, and it's hard because I'm glad she's there. I'm glad she's doing it, but I don't like it.
I also was gonna...
I'm sorry.
We're on the same page. No. We're on the same page. I'm also gonna spit Mistress. So patooey for her. And yeah, as much as I do love the drama, and I love that she kind of got her comeuppance on this episode, in general, not even about, like, the drama. I just don't think she did well in the Snatch Game. I did not like her runway look. Yeah, I only liked her entrance look out of this entire episode. Yeah. And so, Mistress is my spin. Now, Ben, let's tell these lovely people what our at the end of the day is. So at the end of the day... Ben, it was amazing having you here. Thank you so much. I love getting to hear all of your thoughts about this juicy, juicy tournament of All-Stars.
Scar, thank you so much for having me.
Y'all, do not sleep on Bedroom and Bobby's Best Friend Race. Of course, we're going to have the link to that playlist in the description below, so check that out. I cannot wait to be on your show. So yeah, we are doing all the collaborating this year, and YouTube is not ready for just all of this nonsense. All right, divas. We had so much fun chatting with you all. We want to hear about your opinions. Drop them below. Don't forget to support the channel by liking the video and, of course, subscribing to the channel. If you want to join us each week for a live watch along, go ahead and click that join button below and become a Seated and Sipping member. Until next time, divas, take care of yourselves. Talk to you next time. Bye. Gray tracksuit, and she revealed to a gray, like, net dress, and low-key, it was kind of gross. It was like sweat out of rhinestones.
Oh,
like,
hated.
Sweat,